Hello, guys. Hello, ladies. Nice to see you today.
Good evening.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone, and hello, ladies. Nice that we're
Hi,
complete
Rob.
tonight. We almost
Hi,
were
Kat.
not complete tonight.
No,
I
Kaya.
know.
Wow.
Made it
I
happen.
think
We're good.
we have a wonderful topic tonight, too.
I can't wait.
I can't wait, too.
I
So,
can't
how are you, no? Yeah, how are you? How are you? What's the cheese max before we start the show?
What is
The
the cheese
cheese
mac?
mac. The Cheese Max? Oh my gosh. Well, the Cheese Max is chismis for the show itself because,
Oh,
Mhm.
we
that's
are
what's
talking
been
about
happening.
I like the lead up.
Right? And wala lang, it's like I was telling Kathy kanina before you got on, it's just, wow, more of the same stuff. And the stuff has been awesome naman. So more of the same awesome stuff. But, like with anything, it can be repetitive and whatever. So we really got to meet up somehow, somewhere, and just break the
Yeah.
cycle of the mundane.
For sure. It's gonna be a challenge now because I need a passport to get to Rob. He lives in Marikina.
What? No, just come to BGC.
Yeah, let's do that. Bring wine.
I was just in Chino Rosas. Yeah, for sure. I'm just here taking care of my mom. Taking care of the
Aw.
You're settled
Sweet.
na back there.
Yeah, for the time being. Of course, I'd rather be close to my boys, my kids.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
course,
Who's
of
asking?
course.
Ito na ba yun? Probably. I don't.
Ito na ba ya? Oh, that's Cap. Your neighbor, Rob. Si Cap, si Gatsby. Says hi.
Oh,
You
hello.
remember him?
De La Peña?
Yun. Si Gatsby daw.
Hello,
This is
Guts.
live.
Yes, it is.
sir.
Hi,
Yes,
Thomas.
it is.
All right.
Hi, Cap.
Size matter, girls. What's the right size ba talaga?
For hand, feet,
What's the right size?
protein
Of the
size.
what? Of the waist, of the everything. Bakit bang hilig ng size?
That is the
Because
question.
because our topic is about what makes a man. So we're starting out
Yes.
with the most what is this the most not obvious? It's not the most obvious question, right? But it's the most asked question with when you say when you ask what makes a man a man.
Yeah. What makes a man a man? Man.
Yeah.
All right,
Interesting
so,
concept.
yeah. Well, maybe we can start. Shall we begin?
Yeah, go.
Yeah, go for it. So, guys, hello everybody. It's Rob Pengson, your chef, and today we're going to talk about what makes men men. And with me are my wonderful co-hosts. Okay, it's at Coaching Happiness. It's Kat, and of course Rika at Rix Hernandez. Hello, ladies. Say hello. Say hello.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. Good evening.
All right. So today we wanted to talk about something light and something useful, and I think also something that's very important, no? Because this concept of man and women, but for now it's about the man, is it's core to our society. It's prone to abuse. It's prone to abuse.
Mm-hmm.
It's prone to a lot of mistakes and ignorant, not knowing how to be a man, and it can cause so much damaging effect on the lives of other people.
Mm-hmm.
Children, girlfriends, spouses, boyfriends, barkadas, parents, you name it. So, girls, let's talk about it. What makes men men? First question I'm going to ask.
What
is for the
differentiates boys from men?
Sige, go. Let's go. What differentiates boys from men? First, what do you like about the boy, and what do you like about the men? Who wants to start?
Ooh,
What do
tough
we
question.
like about boys? Do we still like boys at our age right now?
Well, I mean, if we can look for something positive, because all men go through the boy stage. It's vital, and there's a good way to go to the boy stage.
I think Kathy should go first. I have to think about this.
I think for me with boys, like there's an excitement with like there's the passion is still there. They're very excited about life. They're very curious. There is that needing to prove themselves almost like with boys, right? With men naman, I'd like to think that men are a lot more grounded. Like men, they kind of know what they want now, or, at the very least, like they already have goals and they have direction. Um, and I think that's it. Like, like you being able to know what you want and being responsible as well, I think is what really differentiates men from boys.
Yeah, I think that's right. It's for young boys kasi I think we love boys. I have two boys. And parang whenever I look at them, all I see is like, wow, these kids are so full of potential. Diba? So we're excited for them to grow up. It's okay when they make mistakes. It's cute pa when they're pilyo.
Yeah.
Diba? And we're more forgiving. However, when it's time to grow up and become a man, it's almost a 180. It's not about your potential anymore. It's what's you're living for, diba? What you're doing. Yeah. So we'll dive into that deep today. How about you, Rika? Boys and men.
Well, I think boys are a little bit like not a little bit. They're curious about everything because everything is new and an adventure or discovery. I think boys have that parang sense of excitement. Therefore, when it comes to the opposite sex, it's like for them they don't know how to approach it. So it's like they're clueless and curious. And so I think for men, they're definitely more grounded, but some, because I don't want to generalize it, but some men are men because they're more guarded, they're more aware of their emotions. Parang they know already more about life and how to go through the emotions, because that's, I think, what men struggle with, and boys. I don't think they know how to process emotions because it's not really taught to boys. And when a boy doesn't learn it at a young age, then when he becomes a man, he won't know. So,
or when he becomes the age of a man, he remains a boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think it's not attractive to women, no?
It's not. I mean,
it's
like
a boyish charm, but a boyish charm is a man can have boyish charm, but he's still required to be a man.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I think that's sexy. It's like when a man knows that he can be a man, but can switch on his boyish side, but can like go back to playing the role of like, okay, I'm really like a man. I think that's cool. But if you're just immature, then that's not cool.
Immaturity versus just being playful. Yeah.
Can I have some samples of any immaturities you girls have encountered in your life?
Rika, why don't you start? You seem to have a very long list.
Oh my gosh, baka nakikinig sila.
Okay lang.
Immaturity. Well, I think because I know and I am humble enough to accept that I have also been an immature person when it comes to like my relationships and stuff. I feel that I did attract an immature person, but because I'm a little bit more aware of it, but at the same time insecure, I kind of tolerated it. So I'm also at fault for that. But yes, I have attracted some crazy immature people, and when I look back at it, it's like, my goodness, it's like it's up to the woman to be the woman, and it's up to the guy to decide if he wants to be a man or stay a boy, right? But you can't have a woman and a boy, or a man and a girl, unless unless you're in another country, and that
I don't think that would be a functioning relationship. I think you can. It's just not a functioning long-term relationship.
Exactly. Parang the what do you call this? The dynamics will always be parang clashing. And then you'll make bate, you'll be okay. But it's just very shallow. and short-lived. So yeah, like with my immature partners or whatever you want to call them, it was it was so stressful for me because like women need to be women and step back and allow the man to like protect and serve and play a role as a man. But if the man is lazy and needy and needs like a mommy figure, then you end up doing everything and that burns out the woman, diba? So parang wala.
Yeah. How about yeah. Okay. Totoo ba that some foreigners say that Pinoy are beta males.
What does that
Mostly,
mean?
What's a beta male?
Mostly.
Like
Parang
not
we're
all
mostly moms.
support.
We're a lot of mama's boys. We're under the saya with the girls.
Mm-hmm.
Bad
I
way, in
kind
a bad way.
in my
Little bit.
experience, I've kind of yes, like I've experienced a lot of mama's boys, and it's nice to see some like just it's nice to see a guy take care of their mom, but at the same time when it's the mom that's basically dictating how he should feel or act or like what partner he should choose or what job he should like take, I think that's where I kind of draw the line when there is no boundary anymore with the mother-son relationship. I think that gets problematic. I think another pet peeve of mine as well is the idea that if you are jealous and protective, that's a good thing. Like a lot of I've been in relationships where the guy would be jealous over the dumbest things. I have a lot of guy friends, and
That's
like
so bad.
I have the mouth of a sailor, and I have the humor of one as well. And I've been in relationships where like the guy would get jealous or namamakod because
Oh my.
like he would like feel threatened. And for me, like that's a huge pet peeve of mine. If you aren't confident, that if you aren't confident in the relationship, then that's kind of like a red flag for me.
So I think can we sum it up in words? Easily threatened. Definitely does not belong in the arsenal of a man.
Yeah.
Right.
Diba? Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Easily
So,
threatened, no?
oh, kasi sometimes, well, no, I agree. I was once that boy. I think I only I really firmly believe. I'm 41 years old, and I believe that I became a man in the last 3 years.
What changed for you?
Basically, life got destroyed. My marriage got destroyed. Everything got destroyed. So then, adversity builds character. So I had to build it. Otherwise, I would have
Yeah.
just succumbed and been depressed. Diba? Hindi pwede.
Yeah.
So
That's interesting though, because like for you, you said that like you feel like you became a man, but like technically like you're already a father. You already married. On the outside, like, it looked like you were like you had it all already.
yeah. Well, no. But sometimes you can be anyone can be a biological father.
True. Yeah,
Look,
I think like being a man
you
is
have
like a
sperm and
mindset. It's like
you have sperm, you put it in there, and then it produces a baby. Okay, fine, you're your dad, but how many dysfunctional fathers are there out there?
That's
Dami
true.
nila. And I think for the future of humanity, it's our responsibility to have to kind of help people become good fathers, also responsible fathers.
For sure,
So,
because a lot of our we kind of look back. Like I look back at my dad, and like, honestly, like he wasn't the best husband. He was a good father. He just wasn't the best husband.
no one's perfect, no?
Exactly.
that's so funny. Like just yesterday, when was that? Yesterday or 2 days ago, September 8th was my dad's birthday, and he would have been 73. But he
Okay.
died when he was 39. So
Oh, wow, so young.
So young. I was 3 years old. And so I went through like my baby albums and I shared it on IG. And the only picture I had with him was of us riding his bike, and he died on that bike that next year. He was
Wow.
39. 39. So at 3 years old,
Bike
parang
accident.
bike accident kasi walang helmet. And then somebody pa commented on my IG saying like, "Oh wow, no helmet, complete disregard of safety." And so I said, "Yeah, he died of that." And he was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry."
Oh wow.
But I know, so I'm sure he felt bad. But parang, men and fathers are so important. They play such a big role in the development of like kids and people. And I think society fails to really embrace that because we assume that men are born like parang macho or tough because they're men, they're the better sex or whatever. But it really not at all. It's like men need as much guidance as ever right now because the pressure is put on them to do this and to do that, and the whole pamacho culture is also pretty toxic, and that also attracts like the wrong women, and women are led to believe that they have to be a certain way to please the guy, which is completely false because we aren't things. Guys, like the way they think of women now according to psychology is that like they think of us in body parts. Is that even true? Parang they can compartmentalize, right?
Yes and no. Yes and no.
Well, yes and no, but when it comes to like parang they can think of you in body parts, in different pieces.
Yeah.
That sounds
I think
that sounds weird.
it sounds
So-
weird.
No.
Yes.
I don't know how that goes. How does it go? Because for us girls, like if you're a whole
There needs
person,
to be a personality behind. Yeah, exactly. There needs to be a personality behind the body. Otherwise, we're just not attracted to it.
yeah. So how
can
do you
do it
do that?
Yeah, well, when men are able to, but yeah, I agree with you, and think also there are a lot of there are a lot lesser men now. Okay, the challenges that men have, kasi diba there's that whole women's movement in the last century.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So now you have women that are stronger, diba? Stronger psychologically and equal rights or equal opportunity. But the men
Empowered.
did not necessarily become stronger with the women.
Mhm.
Mm.
I don't know. So what I'm trying to get at is parang men just stayed the same. Women got stronger. Diba? So they upgraded themselves, which is why now you have so many under desire men. Diba?
Mm.
Diba? Sabi ni boss, me, I don't like that. I don't like that. Boss, sabi ni boss, si general, whatever. But then in
Yeah.
reality, I think there should be a leadership role for men. And when
Yes.
they relinquish that leadership role, there is a relationship that is slightly dysfunctional. Diba? So now the men will have fun with their friends behind the back of the women because naging terror yung si female. Diba?
Mhm.
All of a sudden became a terrorist. Diba? So I think that's why I think men now need to upgrade themselves also. Diba? And then there's also there's less men now than there are males.
There's less men now than there are males.
There are
Okay,
males.
okay.
I
There
agree
are.
with that.
Yes,
Because
yes.
of course there's the ones that identify as female, then they identify as female. Diba? Which means there's less men. So what I'm trying to say, there's not one that's right, but the ones who choose to remain men, they have responsibility still to because forever society has been shaped also by men for a large part, and they have to step up, and I think that's why our topic now, diba? It's, the good parts of men and the bad parts of men.
I think-
pero if you want,
I think-
oh,
I think though it also takes like a man is so powerful and strong, but I think like if you have
physically or
no, I mean overall, but I think if you have a woman that knows how to bring that out, then I think that's really a cool thing because it's happened in history so many times. It's like there's not always, but there's a woman behind a powerful man, diba?
Yes.
I don't know. What do you
Yes,
guys think about that?
I agree that a woman, like, definitely we support men in terms of that, like bring out the greatness, whatever, but it's not our responsibility.
True.
It's not our
It's not,
responsibility.
It's not.
it's not
Mhm.
O, tara.
It's not.
So, girls, what makes a man a man? Let's
What
go
makes
into
a
it.
man a man? A
Oh,
real man.
let's do some rapid fire stuff. Kasi madami to eh.
Oh, sige,
Actually,
go.
yeah,
Oh.
what questions
Can
do
I
you have?
start? Can I start?
Yeah.
Okay, boys are full of potential, but I believe men should have direction and not potential anymore.
Again,
They,
again.
meaning to say, they have made up their mind. This is my direction, at least for this part of my life. So they
Yeah.
not easily switch. They're not
Mm-hmm.
wishy-washy. Kasi young boys
Yeah.
have no direction. It's all potential in play.
I
Mhm.
agree. So
Yay!
bad.
Okay. Yun, direction.
Direction.
Okay.
Agree.
Talaga.
Oo.
What else?
Kayo.
What else have you got?
Kayo naman. What-
What makes a man a man? For me,
Yeah,
what
does
makes a
it
man
matter?
a
Does it
man?
matter? Oh,
Game.
go.
Sige, for me, what makes a man is that he is able to express himself. He is He is in touch with his emotions, and he knows how to express emotions aside from anger
Can articulate. Tama ba?
and articulate. Yeah, definitely. If you're able to express your emotions, if you're able to identify what it is that you're going through and have a talk about it instead of just keeping it in, and then exploding.
First. Yes.
For me is a man. Like, I do not want to deal diba? Like, that's the worst. Like, like I get it. Like, us women are kind of like that. Like, mahilig kami magtampo or whatever. But it's worse with a guy because at least eventually, like, we open up to you guys. With a guy, it's still like we have to figure out what triggered this, and it was something from like 5 years ago. Na inipan nyo lang na inipan, and then lumabas.
Oh. I was guilty of that. I was guilty of that for a big part of my marriage. Even basically my whole life before 38, 37.
Kasi
Tapos
men are
parang,
Nagagalit ka? Like you blow up?
oh, yes. Kasi, yes. It's very true. We're not taught how to be men. And it's hard. When you're a boy, you bring back these things. But you're right. Being able to articulate and be slow to anger is what I think is a characteristic of a man's man. Diba? And
Yeah.
so if you're easy to anger and you're impatient now, you take everything personally, red flag mo na sarili mo, diba? Time to change.
Kasi 'di ba, guys, parang if you notice, like for men, they can just punch each other and then they'll be fine 5 minutes after, 'di ba? That's how they resolve issues.
Well,
Parang they
fairness, the punching is for boys, I think.
The younger boys, but I mean, if girls would never do that. If girls would make sabunutan there, wala na, hindi na sila friends forever. So I think guys have this natural like way of releasing their tension, especially the emotions. But I think a man who can endure pain or hardship without showing feelings or complaining is what makes him a man. Kasi he can endure his pain with humility and grace.
Class.
I think class and dignity. I think that is something that you can't just teach, and then here it takes like time to master that art of controlling yourself as a man.
I kind of disagree with that, more so just because it isn't healthy to keep stuff in and to keep stuff to yourself, especially when you have a partner. That's the whole point of having a partner, right? You have that support system to kind of help you through and to like talk things over with and to bounce ideas off of, just to kind of assume that a guy should hold everything in and, kind of like lead the way might have worked, like couple of decades back, but now doesn't, it isn't really as healthy.
Not
like
to
you
keep
see,
not to keep it in though, kasi that's really bad. But like blowing up definitely is
yeah.
a no-no, right?
Yes, I
And
agree.
and I think like the blowing up also is, we look at the belief systems that men were raised with, and it's usually, boys don't cry, diba? Like wag ka umiyak, kukunin ka ng bakla or something like that. And they are taught at a very young age, right? Like you keep it in, like don't express these emotions that are supposed to come out. And
Well,
that's why, most of the emotions that guys do express are like anger and rage and all of that, right? Which is also, why the number one killer of men, Filipino men, in this day and age is heart attack, because we don't express, they don't express themselves. They keep it in, and that does something to you.
yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, I think men, yeah, definitely. No? There's this, yeah, you cannot keep throwing things under the rug because eventually they just explode.
Yeah,
And
that's true. Definitely. Like I know somebody that would just like just pretend that the problems weren't there. Like
ay,
and
hindi
it
pwede.
was talagang you can tell na nagpa-pile up, pero the brain starts to shut down that emotional part when it's time to kind of like revisit and resolve some of those issues. Parang you can see na nag-glaze yung eyes, and then ayaw talaga ng brain na mag-process because, for some guys who don't know how to manage these emotions as boys, it's like they never get over it, so they never heal, they never get better, and
Mhm.
it really just piles up. I don't know
And
what
I think
happens to
that's
them.
another point. I think that's another point of what makes a man is they're not afraid to have these difficult conversations.
Yes. It's like it's necessary. They know it's necessary. They know it's
Yep.
healthy and it's nothing to be ashamed of.
And they can have
Boys
a
run.
difficult conversation. They can have a difficult conversation productively.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's what's important. Diba? Madali naman to have
Yeah.
a difficult conversation if you're just confrontational. Eh. But if it's not productive, it's useless, diba?
Yeah, that seems to be the tendency of pag guys is like pag galit ka dapat mas galit ako para pag mas galit ako yung talo. Like, I don't care what the argument was about. Basta
The
I was
Hulk,
the
no?
one that
Parang
was
the Hulk.
most mad. So, like it's your fault.
Ang laki ako! Tangin niyo! Galit ako!
Exactly.
That's the kasi the competitive nature of a guy, 'di ba? It's like it needs to be exercised like wherever. So I think
Yeah,
like with me,
but I don't think that's healthy, especially like if you're in a relationship with somebody. It's
yeah,
not
like
supposed to be a competition anymore.
exactly. You're in the same boat. Like you're a partnership, so you shouldn't be competing against each other. I'm just talking to those who are in a relationship.
No, that's actually what I
Right.
kind of wanted to ask Rob, because like I remember like I was in a relationship once upon a time, and really nice guy, whatever. But then he was so competitive. And what he
With
would
you?
do he would compete like with me for some, like in terms of like success or whatever. And he would get so frustrated when he felt that like I was ahead of him. Like,
Ah,
like
insecure.
he would become like super mean and say like like the dumbest things, like, oh, siguro like you flirt with your clients, which is why like you close that deal, or like stuff like that. And
Wow.
I could not understand that.
No, that's not cool, definitely, for sure. Diba?
Mm.
I mean, you can be competitive, but then if you're in a relationship, you gotta support each other. That's the whole point of the
Yeah.
relationship. Diba?
That's what I
But
kind of
there are some,
dating
yeah,
a
but then,
boy, not
yeah, there's some women who are more successful than men in the career, but I think if you're a man, you'll be able to somehow. Dude, you don't want to put your partner down, diba? Make them less
yeah.
successful, but you gotta find a way to make it work. Oh, girls,
Mm.
question.
Mm.
Let's
Go.
talk about the man's junk.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you know, parang
What about
men,
it?
men, men, men out there are categorized in three,
Okay.
tama, three boxes, diba?
Uh-huh.
Oh, let's talk about the size of a man's junk.
Okay. So is it the size of the boat or the motion of the ocean? Is that where we're
No,
going?
Okay. My question is: does size matter? How much? What do you do if you're too big or too small? Or no? What do you do if you're
What
in the big size?
what do you do if you're too big
If
or too
you're in the
small? Not
small
us.
side. Well, let's talk about.
What would we do if we were facing the small side or the big side?
No, but syempre we're talking about men also. Sabi nga ni,
Mm.
Ni Jericho, talong daw. Talong. Four talong. Four talong
Wow,
stars from Jericho.
extra big.
Oh, four talong stars from Jericho. 69 kantutan stars.
No.
Oh,
So you know what? A lot of men, they associate themselves with the size of their penis.
A lot of men yeah, they're why are men obsessed
A lot
with
of
penis
boys
size?
pala. I think a lot of boys. Sorry.
A lot of because you don't hear that with
In the
women. Like we don't compare like vulva sizes. You know what I mean? Like I don't understand why men, like we don't go, oh, ours is like
We
4 inches
didn't
deep.
compare breast sizes, though.
we don't.
No,
We don't.
we don't. I think that's what men think we do, but we don't.
We never talk about anything like that.
Unless like we
Okay.
bring it up. You know what I mean? Like unless like I kind of go to Rika and say like, Rika, I feel like my boobs are shrinking. That's the only time we'd have the conversation
Uh,
about
question.
boobs. Like
If it's like medical.
Question na mabilis lang. Yes or no answer. Does size matter?
oh, depends.
Yes or
Depends
no?
No,
Does
yes,
Yes.
it matters. It matters to an extent. There we go.
Oh, there you go. How about you,
What?
Riga? Does
The
size
size
matter?
Well, I guess. I mean, you wouldn't want like a cigarette.
Okay, but my next question is: what do the guys do if they do have a cigarette? Do it.
You have to
I
have
don't-
a really,
I
you
don't
have
smoke,
to
so
have a
I'm not
really
gonna say-
good personality.
No.
Wait, you're telling me that a guy with a penis size of a cigarette can make up for it with a good personality?
Of course naman. Yes.
Yun.
I
So
don't
there's
want to
hope
answer that.
That's great. So that's great. That's great. Kasi dami din mayayabang dyan na maliliit yung di ba?
Dami. Oh my god. My gauges, the more mayabang you are, the smaller it probably is. Because you have to overcompensate. You know what I mean?
Okay. But is there such a thing as
Yeah.
too? Is there such a thing as too big?
Of course.
Yes.
Yung nga daw yung sabi sa akin joke. I'm kidding. That's just a joke.
Usos,
My
insert
next
na
question-
talaga eh.
My next question is: what do you think about dick
No,
pics?
mayabang. Dick pics, that shouldn't be a thing. That really shouldn't. Like, like there are better body parts to send. Then that's like the ugliest appendage on a guy. Nobody has ever looked at a dick and went, wow, that looks hot. Diba? You don't. You look at it and you go, ugh. Okay.
No,
Diba?
convincing answer sabi ni Micah.
Patay ka. Oh.
What did I
Right.
say, Mike? What did I say? I said yes. I said yes, size matters.
I like
No,
what learn how to eat her out, not personality. Yeah, bawi ka sa ibang paraan. Pwede.
Oh my goodness.
No, but
Oh
girls,
my goodness.
is that correct? Is that correct?
But then, like for me, like like if you're on a date, like like the guy that you've never seen a guy go, wait lang before I take my pants off, like let me go down on you. That's never happened. Come on, that's never happened.
Yeah, so you
Di ba
can't.
pwede-
You're gonna screw your
I was like,
chances already.
Hindi ba pwedeng foreplay yun?
Rob
Dun mo
always
iba-
has to remember. Rob always has to remember. Like, did I do this? Did I do that, na?
But wait, but back to the dick pics. So you're advising men should not send dick pics.
No,
Do not-
nobody asked for them.
Dear men,
anybody-
please, the psychology of men sending DPs is that they just want a reaction from the females. They just want the shock factor. It's like the same
Mhm.
thing as kids like kids in grade school, they will pull their pants down just to shock the girls, and girls will be like, "Ew, whatever."
Really?
They just want a reaction. That's it. They'd rather have
For me
something
naman,
than nothing.
for me naman, I just think it's just because guys are just like really visual. You know, like you see a guy, like if you look at Rob, like he zeroes in on your tits right away. He's visual, right? Like guy can't
What are you
help it.
talking about?
I think like
Who
maybe
said I zero in on tits right away? Do I zero in on tits right away?
I don't.
No,
You want me to answer that? You do not.
no, because
but
guys
Go
put
on, Chansey,
value
go.
on their thing, so they'll send pictures of their thing because they think about their thing. But for girls, it's like we'd
really,
rather see the
oh.
face.
No,
No,
for me
for
naman, I just
guys.
yeah, no, for me naman, I just think that guys do it just because not like they are so visual, so they think that girls are visual too. You know, like if I send a guy a picture of my tits, I'll probably get a good reaction as opposed to if a guy sent me a picture of his dick because it just doesn't, you know, like
Doesn't
you see Rob
ruin it.
agreeing with me, right? I just think that guys are just a lot more visual and they think that
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's a good thing. You know, guys who like to send dick pics, it looks smaller in the photo, so don't do it.
listen to Kathy, guys.
Oh, you guys, this is a
Boy,
Kathy.
Smaller in the
boys
photo.
and men.
So men, don't send dick pics. The
Yeah.
day that you stop sending dick pics, you're on your journey to becoming a man.
Leave something to the imagination, like most women. There are some things that are better imagined than when we see the actual thing in reality. Trust us.
Oh, here's a question. Something that I tend to obsess with.
School
size
head
of-
cap.
It's the size
Huh?
of my stomach, my belly.
Okay.
So give us the
Yes.
real deal with men. Is it abs or love handles? Come on.
Does a pooch matter? Honestly, no. For me, no.
For you, no.
No. Eureka.
Nice to have, though. Nice to have.
Nice to- Nice bonus, but
I
Bonus,
think
bonus.
all I've ever known was a big was a big belly. I don't know.
no, I mean, like, I'll be honest. Like with abs, like there's not like other than it looking aesthetically pleasing.
I want to
there's
try
nothing-
some abs.
There,
Oh,
there
yeah,
is nothing else there. Like I would
Okay, but
honestly, I
Rico
would
wants abs, guys. Rico wants
Honest-
abs, guys. Take
Sige,
Like,
sige. I
honestly,
want
like,
abs.
I would
Let's
Kat doesn't
try.
want abs. So.
I'm good.
Kat
I'm
doesn't
good with
want
I'm good with nice
Okay.
traps and nice arms.
Traps.
That's what we usually go for.
Traps. Yes, traps.
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 Yeah. Gusto mo na nakapan, right? Like abs or wala. Like pang-decker ko lang yan sa kama. Have you seen my abs? He's on the bed.
Why do guys like abs? Guys don't like abs in girls. They think it's gross.
Guys who like guys like abs.
Huh?
Me no, I don't like.
Guys who like
I'm
guys like
not into the CrossFit woman look.
Diba? Like
Mm.
for girls, they're nice, like squishy a little bit.
A little bit, but maybe like a little line there. It's okay.
Hmm.
And there's a lot of men
Yeah.
now who are into big, beautiful women. You know, there's the thickness movement, the thick movement.
Yeah, to
Diba?
each his own. It's
Yeah,
just
to
like
each
for
his
me
own.
and Rita, abs aren't necessarily like something we, feel for.
Ayan. May chance pa ako,
Yeah,
may
you
chance.
you can't feel that when you're doing stuff.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah,
do
may
that.
chance. May chance
Plus-
ako. Gosh, I have a
Plus,
stomach, you know.
Me and Rika were talking, like, you know how hard, it's a hassle to be with a guy who's like ripped because they can't bend the way you want them to. Let's just put it that way. It's
You need
like they're-
range of motion, right?
Oh.
You need
Not unless they're an
flexibility.
athlete, diba? If they're an athlete, it comes with a
it comes with the territory,
direction
yeah.
in life. It becomes
Yeah.
more attractive, diba? Because it's not about
Mm.
vanity, tama ba?
Yeah,
Well, we
Right.
never we never know what the motive
Mm.
is behind everybody's body journey.
yeah.
Diba?
Okay, true. Oh, girls,
But
can I ask
definitely
another question?
Vanity. Game.
So basically, our verdict is abs not necessary.
Yeah.
Abs not necessary. Shoulders necessary.
Shoulders are a plus. Yes, definitely.
God.
For me, necessary. Every time we say that, you have to do that face. You look like Mr. Incredible.
Oh, girls, ito. I'm sure some guys want to ask this, no? Because there's always the rich kid, the rich man, di ba? They have the nice cars. They have the driver and the bodyguard in the world. What happens when you're not that?
Yes.
Okay, what can a guy do if they're not that guy? They're the regular guy. What can they do to?
Hi,
Because I know
Pao.
di ba?
Workout na lang kayo, game. For me, honestly,
Oh, what can
I,
guys do?
I understand that question because growing up, my mom was like she had her like tick list for me. If ever I was to have a boyfriend, it was, and she was very, it was either millionario, artista, or anak ng general. And it took me
Yun.
years to figure out why, but nakasama yung anak ng apparently those guys are loaded.
Oh.
But
General, Jutay.
General
General-
Jutay. No, but then I think the great thing then about like just being such a daddy's girl is it was my dad talaga that taught me that if you want something in life, you gawan mo ng paraan to get it, because pag umasa ka sa lalaki, may kapalit din parate. So I was never the type na, like somebody's bank account or judge somebody by somebody's car. I think that's the worst way to go about it. Like for me, like if I were to judge somebody, I'm gonna judge you on your personality. I'm gonna judge you on, like how you treat the waiter, and how you interact with other people and what your friends are like. Because that gives me a better idea of who you are as a person rather than, the car you drive. And that's my pet peeve. Like when I date and people, guys like to low key, like flex their watch and, like their belt or their shoes or, I drive this car. Like that is such a turn off for me. Because
Right.
that just means like, either mommy or daddy gave it to you, because if you earned that, like, you won't be that mayabang about it. Or it just means,
Exactly.
yeah,
It's
or
like
it's just,
compensating for a lack of
Yeah.
Tapos you go out
personality
of
or
the
something.
Ferrari, naka white t-shirt and jeans and white shoes. The standard fuckboy look, right? Para humble daw. Humble. Humble na ka Ferrari.
pero Gucci yung shoes, alam mo yan. I'm like, it's
Oh,
not,
no.
I don't know, it's appealing to a certain demographic, definitely. But I think it's safe to say for me, Rika, that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I
me and
need to-
Kathy talk about this all the time. We always chat behind your back. We're like, let's talk about guys.
Okay, but I need to ask this again, no? Because kanina when we were talking about the size of the man's junk, now we're talking about their financial situation, or current financial situation. Personality came out again, no? As the savior. So can we dive a little bit deeper on what makes a good man's personality? Ladies, please.
Rika, you wanna go first?
Conversation.
Well,
Can I have this conversation a key part of the personality?
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, I mean, for me, I don't. I think your intelligence has to match, diba?
Oh, madaming babae daw
At
down
the-
there. Yeah, there's
I
a lot
mean-
of women down that are sapiosexual daw eh.
Mga ganun boba.
Kasi if you can't communicate with that person, edi paano yan? Oh, hanggang you'll be like Rob all the time, like flexing his muscles. Hanggang dun lang, 'di ba?
Oh, so
Right.
conversations.
That's what I call pandekor sa kama. You have nothing to contribute. You just look good.
At least you look good na lang, 'di ba?
Yeah.
But yeah, can we have specifics on personality though? I'm sure a lot of men would be very
Me
interested to
first?
hear.
Yeah, you
Sure.
first go.
You know, well, because we are all speaking from like our own preferences. So this is not to generalize every woman out there. Like not everybody wants the same thing. But for me, personality wise, like I do appreciate a man that has basic etiquette, I guess. Like, somebody that's polite, like a little bit, like they know how to be a gentleman. Kahit konti lang, man lang, di ba? Like,
Konti lang.
kahit a little bit.
Gentlemen, please.
Fine.
don't like
Kathy raises
gentlemen.
the standards. I want a gentleman, yes. So, because it just shows that the person is, how do I say it? The person respects you, treats you like a
Yeah.
lady, I think that is very attractive when a guy learns how to do that.
Okay.
Those are little things because women
Okay.
can spot details, and those are the little things that, like, that's what we look at over like over the cars, over the whatever else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you mentioned this word, no, etiquette.
Mm-hmm.
Diba? I think I would have to agree with you because parang when I was growing up, parang my mom would always teach us how to eat and how to just it's in the family, diba? And then so basically having good manners, right protocol, how to behave in given situations. It really helps because I think it's very unattractive if a man is so uncomfortable in his own skin in certain situations. Diba?
Yeah, and it shows
Parang
because
si
then
insecure,
he acts slobby, and you can see it
and he
in the
goes like this,
way
no?
he
Nakakuba, parang
dami mong impersonations, ah.
Actually.
tapos, pero wag naman maangas, di ba? Angas is too much.
Yeah, I think balance lang naman. Everything should be balanced. Okay lang naman yung mga macho, like balance lang.
Swak na swak lang. Swak na swak. Tamang-tama lang, di ba? Okay, what else makes good personality? Kat, what else makes good personality?
Me, for me, I always go for somebody with a sense of humor, somebody who has good banter. Like when it comes to conversation, there is something that he can like relate to, contribute to, add on. I like somebody who likes to talk about their future. Like for me, that means you have
That
a
is so
plan. Whether it's,
Yes.
I'm building this business, this is what I'm working on, I'm really excited about this project. Like that gets me excited because to me, that tells me that, oh, this person has direction and he has goals that he's going for. I think also like when it comes to personality, I'm really kind of picky, like, looking at how authentic he is as a person. I think like, especially, I'm pretty sure Rika can attest to this. Like when we go on dates, it's always the best foot forward, right? And you don't really see the guy for who he is until, like couple of months down the line. So for me to be able to really like meet a guy and really see his personality, like who he authentically is, and for him to be confident to like let that out. Like for me, I think that's sexy because I don't know. There's no guessing. Like I told you guys, I hate games. I do not like playing games. So to be able to put yourself out there and kind of say, you know what, this is me. Take it or leave it. I think makes good personality because you aren't trying to people please at the end of the day. And I think that's what a lot of guys try to do. They try to people please, they try to impress. And that just kind of turns, at least for me, it really turns me off. Another thing that turns me off as well is, I don't know, Rika, if this is you as well, is mansplaining. It's like
mansplaining. What is that?
Mansplaining. It's when you have an idea or you're talking about a topic, and then as a woman, you feel that the guy is kind of talking down to you or preaching about, like something that you should just be having like a normal conversation about. For me, like that really pisses me off.
That pisses me off. That pisses me off a lot because,
right?
I mean, I don't have.
I do not want to be
explain it.
patronized.
Ladies, I was guilty of that at some points in my life. And you're right.
What made you feel like
when you're talking down to other people, sometimes because you think you know the answers. Some people think they know everything. But no,
Mm.
I was guilty of that, talking down to people. It costs nothing but strife. It hurt another person.
Yeah.
Eventually, it ruins your own life because, dude, no one really knows everything. And I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
it takes more of, manliness is a big part, is allowing people to become their own man or their own woman. Diba? So
Yeah.
being able to listen, hold your opinion, and be able to disagree gracefully. I think
Yeah.
that's key, no? To
Yeah.
disagree gracefully. I think that's a
Mhm.
man's man, right?
We,
Diba?
we 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 like to call that being able to hold space. You don't necessarily agree, but if that's the
Oh,
person's opinion, okay.
yeah. Ayos
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Magandang topic ito. I wish I heard this. I wish I heard this when I was younger. Kasi my dad was like, I think my dad remained a boy for a good part of his life. So parang I didn't
Hmm.
have much role models growing up. And,
Mhm.
sometimes we get affected by media, and it's in media, hello, it's such a wrong, it's a wrong, terrible role model.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's not even realistic. So yeah, this
Yeah.
is super important. And for me,
But
what really prompted me to become more of a man was I have two boys, and I don't want them to make the mistakes that I did when I'm growing
yeah.
up.
Hmm.
Diba? So
Exactly. I have two boys then, and I'm just a mom. So parang where do I get their male direction, diba?
You send them
oh,
to Rob.
Yeah. I need to borrow you.
I think
Send
now I'm
them
a
to
good
Rob.
mentor. I think now I'm a good mentor. Um, some of my key performance indicators as a man now. I'll give
Is
KPI them. I notice I'm able to, like what you said, I'm able to disagree with people, but the respect is maintained.
Mm.
mm-hmm.
In heated situations, I'm able to keep my cool and, in effect, allow other people to cool down as well. I think that's key, no? And that's something I
Yeah.
really try to train my kids, because a bad temper will get you in a whole lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Oh
You
yeah.
know?
It diverts the attention of the actual problem solving to, oh, this person is an asshole, diba? That's all you'll
You
be
know?
remembered by.
Yeah, for
Mhm.
sure. Oh, my question ako, ladies.
Mm.
Personality, di ba? So, what happens if you have no personality? How can we help our friends there looking for dates to get more
The
dates with
guys,
women? The
if
guys,
you're a
yeah, the
guy
guys.
and you don't have a personality,
You work
Yeah,
on it.
you really gotta work on it, and you gotta do
bigyan natin
everything
ng
you
tip.
can. You
Sige,
increase
ano
your
tip?
well, first of all, increase your value by learning skills, learning how to do
Knowledge and
things, learn
skills.
how to be a man. There are so many videos on YouTube on how to be like a man. There's so many good tips out there, different styles, and I think guys should be interested in getting the answers because so much answers are out there. You just have to go and get it.
Totoo.
Mm. Yeah.
Totoo.
For me, it's really look for what you're passionate about and really hone in on that, master that. Like even if you are working on a personality, you want to have something that interests you, something that you're passionate about that you can talk about for hours. Like for Rob, that could
Be,
be his cooking.
be
But
an
then
interesting person. Be an
yeah,
interesting
that
person.
gets you
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
the door. That gets you through the door.
Exactly. And to be able to find these interesting things to talk about, you gotta be brave enough to try new things and discover new things
And
Yeah.
and
fail.
fail
And
and
Try
not
fail.
again.
like it.
Fail forward. Just not fail.
Fail
Fail
forward.
forward.
Try again.
Yeah, try again because
Yeah.
you'll never find out what you like or what you don't like by just sitting there, diba?
Yeah.
I know, by just staying still. Diba?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think a big one then for me is stop complaining. Like that seems to be like the intro. It's always I have something I need to complain about and it's not sexy.
Oh
You
my
know,
gosh, there's this Facebook friend
Sino
of mine who
yon? Parang
I have this
what a
Facebook
life
friend and
naman.
he just complains like crazy.
yeah,
Annoys the
it's
shit out
it,
of me.
it it's that need to be right. that always comes out, and like it's always like somebody is wrong and it is my imperative to correct them. I hate that. Please do not
That's
do that.
immature behavior.
Yeah. Mhm.
Negative. But I think kasi okay, so the position of a man is very supportive, diba? I mean, of course, women are nurturing. But women are nurturing, but I believe that for men, it should be a position of strength, being able to build things up, build ideas up, and build people's up, build other
Mhm.
people up. And to be able to do that, you cannot be negative. You cannot be negatron. And you can't naman be you can't be always affirming that I am like this, I am like this. You gotta talk the talk, but walk the walk too. And they have to be, but they
Align.
have to meet. O, align
Mm.
sila. So mali.
Not like that, but sure, eventually, maybe we'll see.
My
Oh my
gosh.
goodness.
Yeah, but just
Oh.
going back to, I think, like, with the whole boys that have a hard time becoming men. I think if you kind of look at how we were brought up as well, it's very different. That women are raised very differently than men. Like, at least for me, like growing up in my household, like I was the only girl. I have two brothers. Most of my cousins are guys. And it was me and my other cousin, who was also female, that were very overprotected. It was ang dami naming rules, can't go out, curfew, etc., etc. Aral muna bago boyfriend. The boys didn't really get those rules. They just kind of, bahala kayo dyan. As long as you aren't flunking school, you're kind of good. And they just kind of, right? They just kind of like go about life, which is why I think women also tend to mature a lot faster than guys, is because we really got that support. And, we really had to kind of mature quicker. And the guys just kind of bumped along until, they realized, oh, I need to grow up. Or, unfortunately for our generation, like they got somebody pregnant. So, they had to grow up really fast. Some didn't. Or other circumstances like that, like, force you to become a man, not necessarily you growing into one.
Oh, so hey, guess what? Here I have 100 tough things every man must do.
Okay.
I'm gonna post it on the chat also, so people can just go through it. But this is interesting. Number 33. Let me know if you agree or not. A man must be able to pass up tempting sex.
Ooh, that's a good topic.
Diba?
Well, is the
Yeah.
man married? Is he with somebody?
Well, I think.
Well,
Okay, basically, no, it's just here. It's number 33 on the list, and it just so happens to be on my screen. And because it's hard.
I think yes.
It's hard for men to pass up tempting sex, especially the.
Really? So kahit kanino,
It is.
they will do it? Kahit kanino?
Oh,
Well,
well,
what they're
right.
to do, I guess.
What's up, Du? Shout out to my main man, Dudu. This guy is a man's man. Hi, Du.
Hi, Dudu.
Hello.
Dudu. He's a man's man.
I love that he called me Goosey.
Hey, they call me Goosey.
Goose
Oo.
Station.
Wait lang, how about pabango? What's the role of pabango in men? Yes?
The what?
No? Pabango.
What is
The role.
Cool waters,
Pabango?
pare. Cool waters. Oh, cool waters.
Oh. Kind of. Honestly, like, that's a big thing for me.
I like
if a guy
scents.
smells good, like, nakadikit ako sa'yo, like, buong araw. I don't care.
Dracarnor ba yan? Dracarnor.
Jovan Musk, ika nga ni Jericho.
Yes, Pogi point. Yan yung
Ay,
ano.
girls,
pabango. Guys, please smell
Anong
nice.
magandang amoy?
Smell nice.
I think it depends on the
Axe.
woman. I think it depends on the woman.
No, if you can just give.
Axe body spray.
I don't know. Mm. Something that smells fresh,
What's the question?
clean,
You got cut
not
off.
too musky.
Yeah, I don't like musky either. I like something like
Uh,
fresh laundry kind of smell. It reminds me of
or
like
citrusy.
something comfortable and
Yeah.
safe, like a
Mm. Wala.
comforter, like a comforter, di ba?
Comforter. For
Oo, brute
Fair.
daw, sabi ni Bruto. Brute. I think also, how about,
What about-
men should
Wait,
be
what
able,
about
how's the-
guys? Do they like girls that smell a certain way?
course.
Like
Wait.
not too strong. Not too strong.
not too strong. I think
My
anything.
personal
diba?
thing
Not too
kasi, if it's
strong.
too strong, parang it comes out as a bit slutty. It's just too much. You gotta keep it
Mm.
classy, balanced.
Yeah,
Subtle.
just smell
elegant.
good, smell clean.
Yeah, subtle and elegant, diba? Classy.
Nice.
Smell
You
your
gotta learn to have fun, diba? I gotta learn to have fun. I think also it's important, for men to be able to handle their alcohol.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. For
Diba,
sure.
pare?
That is so unattractive. I hate seeing men like super
Ay,
drunk.
pare! Cheers, pare!
It's so
Partida, di pala
doesn't
syndrome
look
yan.
good.
It doesn't. No.
It doesn't
Thankfully,
look
I
good,
don't-
and
I
it
don't think
doesn't
I've dated
sound
anybody
good.
For me, like drinking
too.
and smoking are like I don't. Especially if you smoke a lot.
No
like
to
I had
smoking,
one
for sure.
experience of kissing somebody who liked to smoke. It was like licking an
Yeah.
ashtray. Never again. Never
Yeah.
again.
What did to see Mr. Raymond Enriquez, the women's
Women's
pheromones?
Women's pheromones, but what does that smell like?
Wala.
what do pheromones smell like?
I don't know. I don't think you can smell it. You can only sense it.
It's like it's the chemistry, I guess.
It's the
Oh.
hormone that give you your sex appeal, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh wait, let's go back to Rob's question. That was very interesting. Tempting
the question?
men saying no to temptation or like to
Oh, yeah.
women.
Natutunan mo na yan. Natutunan ko na yan.
I would say yes.
Oh, yeah. Now I'm able to say no to tempting invitations.
Hmm.
Good, because
Definitely.
that's self mastery. That's like
It's also
that's
because
the
of
highest level.
True,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's the number one thing what gives women trust issues. If a woman has trust issues, she has probably been cheated on before.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nako.
That's true. That's true.
Nako.
Right?
How's this?
Rob is like,
This is nice and juicy.
I'll game.
It's still in the article. Number 70. Men are able to go cold turkey on an addiction.
On a what?
Addiction.
That's hard.
What?
That's hard to do.
Cold
I don't
turkey
know.
on what?
But
On
men are
addiction.
able to. Alcohol, drugs,
Mm,
spending,
yeah.
whoring, gambling.
That's definitely sexy, but easier said than done. Like
yeah,
my
but
dad
since we're
was
talking-
all of the above. Oh, we lost Rika.
What?
Yan lang
I'm
ako tayo
here.
dito,
What
ah.
happened?
Hi. No, we're talking about
What happened?
going cold turkey on addictions.
Going cold turkey on addictions.
And
And Rob-
to, Kathy. Akala ko ba, Kathy, you can resist everything except temptations. Kay Kathy ba yan, do?
What?
No, I think that's for me.
Wala naman pangalan ko siya na.
Oo nga, no?
Rob. Why are you assuming this?
But men need to learn how to cook at least one solid dish. Don't you agree?
Oh
Yeah,
yes, please.
for
Oh my
sure.
God.
Oh, diba?
Like
Eh, paano
if the
pag-
guy burns water, like never mind.
Yeah, so what happens when you already
I
get
think
to
it's so
lick
attractive
massacre?
when a guy can cook.
Ah!
Guys should be able to cook.
I can cook.
You're
You
not.
are-
I'm not talking about you.
Okay.
Guacamole. I won't prove.
You're an exception. Exception ka.
Alam mo yung pinakamasarap na niluluto ko?
Ano?
Midnight,
Ano?
midnight snack.
Ano yung midnight
Midnight
snack mo? Akala ko
Basta
breakfast
yun,
in bed.
alam mo yung mas masarap, ang mas masarap na niluluto ko, breakfast in bed. Yan.
Sabi mo nga eh.
I have heard that
Midnight
line before.
That's his chef pickup line
That's
all the
his-
time.
Yeah.
It is. Chef, what's your specialty? Oh, breakfast in bed.
Apparently, it
So
works.
Mike says, "Hi, handsome. Hello, Mr. Mikey. This is one of the most charming men in Metro Manila. He's married na
Aw.
though. Another man's man right here, Mr. Mikey Cruz.
We need more of you guys. Hey, do you guys have any questions for
Yeah,
us or
Wala, may
for Rob?
kasal na tayo.
Yeah, ask the women.
Questions.
Ask the women.
Like, and
Ask
we,
the
we,
women.
we want to know too. So like, these conversations have actually been happening off stage. You guys just don't know. We bombard Rob with our
Yeah.
love life questions, with
We're more
questions
candid too.
about boys. So he's kind of sick and tired of these questions already.
We
That's a nice question.
should ask
game.
Rob stuff now.
You know, in the French culture, they say it's acceptable for men to have mistresses. What do you feel
But you-
about that?
Be acceptable. Now it isn't.
Okay.
I don't think that's
You-
acceptable. I don't
Yeah.
believe in that.
Mikey
You know,
goes,
well-
how
I mean, if your culture says it is.
No, Rob. They know me very well, Mikey. Thank you.
That's okay. I'll answer that. I know Rob. I was introduced to him
Holds
at
this bicep. Eureka holds
No.
the other bicep.
owns the traps. No. So like
Oh my
I was introduced to Rob through another friend who's also a chef, and we would all hang out together at that restaurant and just shoot the
Oh,
shit.
si Jonas na.
And that's how we became friends. Yeah, it was just a lot
With
of
Rika, we met Rika for the podcast.
yes.
Yeah, we met
met-
in the BGC community chat group for the pandemic. That's how I met Rob.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Diba?
Oh, next question. My question for the girls: rich guy with bad sex or poor guy with great sex? Yes.
Oh my god! How do you
What?
know
What
that?
kind-
Like, ito, how? What makes a guy or a girl good or bad in bed?
Basta
Because I
let's
think
just
makes
say
a
that.
guy- Yeah, what makes
No, hey,
what
come
makes
on,
it
you gotta
good?
answer this question. Basta,
No, but
basta rich guy
What is the
or poor guy?
barometer? Rich
Okay,
or
si
poor?
rich guy, kumain ka sa hotel, 'di ba? Tapos meron siyang sports car, tsaka may backup pa. 'Di ba? So when he whips it out,
Okay.
'di ba? Before he whips it out, linabasan na siya. Parang gano'n.
Hindi, wait. Ulitin mo nga, hindi ko na-gets.
Huh?
Bakit may
No,
backup?
No, it's a rich
So,
guy,
siya
'di ba?
sa
It's a
motor.
rich guy, is
Rich
backup.
Guy with bad sex or poor guy
Or
with
just like
great
a regular guy, poor guy. What's poor? Naka-easy
So
scooter
many-
lang kayo. Yung nakaangkas ka sa easy scooter niya.
sex? Hmm.
What's poor? Like homeless?
Hindi naman. Hindi naman.
I feel
Oh.
so bad.
Ang daming levels,
Poor
ang daming layers.
Siguro,
Huh?
he saved up so that you guys would go grab premium on your date. Parang ganun.
Grab, that's the
Oh,
poor na for
no.
you?
No, just to put it in context.
Uy, ako yun eh. Ako yung grab premium.
No, that,
I
when
don't
you
know.
when you went on your date, my gosh, you like orgasm 3 times in one night. Parang ganun.
Well, that just means connection, I guess. I guess whoever
The question
has
is,
the better connection.
so you would go with a poor guy with great sex. Hindi naman siya homeless.
Hindi mo homeless, wala
Hindi
lang
siya
siyang Ferrari. Na,
Well, no. That's what's to say. He doesn't own a
Bakit?
car.
Raymond Enriquez, meron ka bang Ferrari? Sinasabi mo bang may Ferrari ka? Oh, diba?
Yeah.
Why are you-
He's not saying anything.
It's bad in bed.
He's asking a question. Oh, tara,
I
moving
honestly
on.
I honestly don't know what one has to do with the other. Like, that's just, yeah. Can't answer because I don't have any idea
Yeah, that's a
what it
trick
has to do.
question.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah. So can you give us your top five?
Improve your question.
Right, improve your question. Can you give us top five practical tips for the single guys looking to get a good hot date of a quality woman like yourselves?
Improve your banter.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
learn
Five,
how to-
five. Number one.
Five. Yeah, for me, like one is definitely banter. Like learn how to be entertaining when you talk, or like learn how to be interesting, have interesting conversation. Number two. Oh, ikaw muna, Rika. What's your number one?
Well, I must say I agree with you with the banter 100%. That's like the hook when you're like dating somebody. That really hooks
Especially
you.
now.
Parang, oh my god. Yeah, it's so catchy, and it's like it's like
number two.
flirty. It's like
We're all about
flirty
the
pero with yeah, it's like you're smart and you're flirty at the same time. That's hot.
Exactly. And that's sexy. Number two, I think have goals. Like have goals, aim for something, be excited about your future. Like the worst thing for me is I know a mama's boy is a mama's boy because it's always, wait, let me ask my mom. And if your future depends on what your mom says, there is no future. So, what?
May asthma si anak. Ask my mom. Asthma.
Diba? Always mom says, daddy says. Like for me, that's a red flag.
Okay ba to sa mga guys? I have to go. Pinapauwi na ako.
Right? And you're like 38, 40 years old. I mean, that's just sad, man. I'm sorry.
Oh,
That's
number three.
Oh,
Wait, wala pa akong number two.
Okay, number two, go.
Mhm.
I would say if you're trying to get a hot date, not a hot girl, I think be more, what's the word? Be more consistent. Like you can't just ask a person out and expect an answer tomorrow. Like just be consistent, being thoughtful in message the girl like a hello every day or every other day. Just show that you're there and you're thoughtful. That's gonna catch attention for sure.
All right.
Mm.
Well, may 3, 4, 5 pa tayo, girls.
Okay,
3,
sige.
4, 5.
Three. What is three? Three is just be a gentleman. A gentleman, I don't know, for some reason or another, it's so hard to find in this day and age. It's so annoying, but be a gentleman. Know how to say please, know how to say thank you, open the door for somebody, open the fucking car door once in a while.
Wag yung sobrang grabe. But not
Gentleman,
yung
not
sobrang.
Yes.
Huh?
Oh, yun.
Gentleman?
Doormat.
You want to be a
No,
gentleman,
no.
right? We don't want you to become a doormat. Doormat is
No.
completely different, where we step all over you, and that's not sexy at all. But yeah, old school manners works every time. And us girls, like we love the maginoo but medyo bastos. So
Yun. Boto ko yun sa buhay eh. Maging maginoo pero medyo.
basta bastos in the right places, but more or less maginoo.
Rika, number 4. Can you give number 4?
Number 4.
Yeah.
Tips to give for a guy. Well, I think I don't know. I'm not a guy. There's so many. I think
It's for a guy to date you.
Simple lang. Simple to.
okay, sige. I think guys should know how to compliment properly. Not always reference the sex stuff. Like, girls don't really like that. We don't like fine, we get it. We have nice bodies and whatever, but like can you notice something else? Like give better compliments. I
Can
think
you give
that
an example of a compliment and then you say yes or no?
Wow, oh shucks. I wish I
Ito,
saved it.
sama.
Like
Ito, okay ba to? Papasa pa sa'yo to? Wow, sarap mo ngayon ah. That's definitely not right.
no.
Okay.
No.
So, but I guess, siguro
How do I
one-liner.
this thing?
Yeah, let's just talk
Pero
to each
it's
other.
like a
Kat.
one-liner, like, wag naman yung over, diba? Oh, you're the
Yeah.
most
No,
beautiful.
no.
It has to
Like-
be, it has to be balanced.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
can be just be a subtle thing, like you notice what we're wearing, or kunyari, it's on Instagram or whatever. Like you just notice, like, oh, I really like you, because only girls appreciate what another woman is like wearing, diba? That's how girls make lambing each other. Parang, oh, I like your lipstick, I like your whatever. So you gotta speak in a way like the language that women receive love in, which is compliments, because women naturally want to be seen, and they want to, that's why girls take time to fix themselves up, because we want to be seen. And so a guy has to see her and appreciate like the hair. That's why it's a big deal. Like if you get a haircut and your boyfriend doesn't notice, like for us it's like, what the hell, we did this, not just for us but also like for you. It matters when you notice, because we put in the effort. Guys don't really put in the effort really to fix their clothes and stuff. So it's a big deal for us. It's what we put value into. So I think when a guy learns how to compliment in a nice, classy way, you can be a little bit naughty sometimes if the girl is comfortable. But I think complimenting on the looks,
You ease into that, but yeah,
yeah, I'd give into that. But
just complimenting.
hey, I
and-
like your dress. Like your dress is cute. Like, oh, you look whatever. You guys should find the right ones.
Mhm.
How would you want to
Right.
be complimented, Kat? Like, what's a nice thing for somebody to say to you?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Probably like something about what I did or what I posted or my personality. I mean, that would be nice.
Right? A change.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm sure you get comments about your body all the
Yeah,
time.
guys, take note. Guys, take note what the girls like. Well, number 5. Just a quick. Okay, not last to wrap up this line of questioning before we almost.
Go. Number 5 for me is please make sure you have a life outside of what because like yes, have a life outside of whoever it is that you're trying to date. You are a lot more interesting if you have something that's going on that isn't related to your date, or you have something that you're building, or you have something that you are taking care of, knowing that there is something going on in your life other than like this person that you're trying to hit up is sexy. Knowing that having a girl ask, so what's going on with your day? And I have this and I'm doing this and I'm doing blah, blah, blah. And I'm experimenting with this. Like for me, like that gets me interested in you because, you have other
Take
things
note,
going on. You're waiting for me to reply to your text.
All right, so here's a quick question. Prim and proper or badass?
A bit badass.
Hi, Jao. I like the
Prim and
badass guys.
proper or badass?
A bit more badass than prim and proper.
I like the badass guys that know how to like tone it down when they're around the women, but like boost it up when they're around other guys. I think that's cool.
Okay, great. All right, so we can give a clear and example of the of qualities of a man. Can you share any character, fictional or in real life, like a celebrity, is a good role model for men trying to be men's men?
Sige, I'll go first.
Realistic, realistic naman.
Yeah. Sige. For me, like man's man for me is somebody like Jason Momoa, who is like badass,
Wala sa
great
height
actor.
niya, wala sa height niya.
Wala sa hype. Like he's a great actor, badass, looks really good. But I think the sexiest part about him for me is how he treats his family. Like if you look at YouTube videos of him, like he adores his wife, like he's always saying something nice about her. If you see how he like plays and interacts with his kids. Like there's such big love there. And he's not afraid to show it. He's not afraid to be malambing, and he's not afraid to put it out there. And I think for me, like that's sexy. That makes him
All
mad.
right.
Mm.
How about you, Rika?
Oh my goodness, I don't know. I don't have an answer for this. I'm like still thinking. Fictional or non-fictional? Well, I think I like just off the top of my head. I mean, when it comes to class and treating a lady the way like a woman, I think Obama did a good job at showing that he's good. He's a gentleman. Like it was always about his wife and the little details, like how he would walk beside her, how he would hold her back, all of these things. Give her the umbrella. Have you seen those pictures?
Considerate.
Yes, consideration. Being considerate is one very attractive thing, and I think that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we can make a whole list, no? But yeah, our time is ending. Thanks everyone for watching us. Siguro I'll add this other question. Girls, what do you think? Should men also lay bare or what?
Should men
Lay bare?
mans?
Or trim lang, or sige lang, go wild man's bush. What is it for you
I
girls?
guess it depends on how hairy the guy. I don't know. Like I prefer
Gotta
like
give an answer. Sorry. This is for the
Man-
men watching now.
Like if I landscape, y'all have to manscape. I mean, alam mo yun, damay-damay na to.
Is that bare or is that just trim? Bare or trim?
Bear.
Bear.
Whoa! I did
Bear.
not expect that. Oh my gosh.
Why? Why didn't you expect that?
Do you think we like hair?
I guess not.
I mean, ganito lang yan. Like if you expect us to get busy down there, y'all better clean it up. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah. All right. That's great. Well, I think we
being
had a
honest.
wonderful episode. We should have a continuation because there's still so much to talk about for men. No?
There is, like, we didn't even get into like half of the topics that we wanted to like really get into.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
serious stuff, like But that's why
Yeah.
our talks they always extend. But we'll continue this off stage.
Yeah. So guys,
For
thanks very much for watching. We're approaching the hour and a half mark. No. This
Yeah.
was episode 8. Was it? Yeah, episode 8 from Boys to Men. So salamat everyone. We hope that the girls gave you wonderful insights on how to be men from their different point of view. Diba? But let's take one last question. I'll go. Who wants to answer this question? And very appropriate for now.
What's
Would
the
you get
question?
offended? Would you get offended if a guy or girl asks you for a swab test before getting intimate? I think this is the main reason why like nobody's dating right now. It's because of the fear of catching COVID. No, I think that's practical.
Yeah,
No?
it's smart. It's responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's attractive, right? That's attractive.
I would
Yeah,
probably do
They're
the same.
responsible. Yeah, I'd probably ask for the same as well. Definitely.
Because those
Or we'll
people won't be the ones to tell, yung mga yan, the ones who do this will not be the ones who say, oh, go, putok mo sa loob.
We are assuming.
Diba? They're more responsible. Yeah, great. Great. Ladies and gentlemen watching and everyone, thank you very much for watching our Wednesday
you, guys,
habit.
for your question.
Yeah, who's hosting next week?
Me.
Do you have a topic
I
now
am.
that we can get? What's your topic? Not yet.
I was thinking about talking about spirituality in general, since it's a huge part of our mindset, and I think we all have different takes on it. So I think that would be kind of interesting. What do you guys think?
Well, yeah, it's your choice.
Mhm.
Definitely, it's your
Yeah,
choice.
we should. Yeah, spiritual health is definitely something that people who aren't parang they think, oh, I'm not religious, I'm not spiritual. Like I think it's important to consider some kind of it. you know?
I think
Just to be
we are
aware.
just different levels, yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that'll be cool.
I think it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Great.
So
Oh, so that's
all right,
it.
that's kind of it
Thanks,
for us.
guys.
Talk to you guys next week. Bye.
See you guys next week. Bye.